Ahead of a new season, I'm going to be walking 37 miles in 3 days, visiting every Premier League club in London to find out what Arsenal are up against this season from our closest rivals, and more importantly, to raise money for Prostate Cancer UK. Sponsor me and save lives. Keep on my channels for more and watch this space.
I'm here with James, AFTV's tactical connoisseur. Sort of nice to catch up with him after a game. James, so Arsenal 4, Leverkusen 1. I must admit, I didn't see that before the game. You probably didn't either. Give us your assessment of that performance.
It's very kind of you, by the way, to praise me on the tactical front. I mean, when we were in front of Arteta, there was a part of me that wanted to ask him whether I'm talking complete nonsense. I think he'd have said, yeah, mate, shut up. Fair enough.
No, I'm sure. If he's seen your stuff, which I'm sure he has, I
think he'd have gone, this guy hasn't got a clue. But there we go. Anyway, what was the question? I'm happy with today. I'm very happy with today. I keep saying that I just got a lot more out of this friendly than I expected. I didn't expect Rice, Saka to get 45, Saliba getting 45 from the start. We predicted Raya to start, that kind of made sense. But also just blending like Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly, who are very good. Obviously, Ed in Heaven too, let's not forget him, Josh Nichols. Give him minutes with kind of key first teamers, so we get really... It's still pre-season, it's still a friendly, but it's another thing when you're judging them up against how others in that game on the Emirates turf, you know, in a game that Mikel Arteta will want to see upped intensity. It's very interesting to see how they keep up. And I thought Arteta's quotes, which I just read after the game, he was asked about Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri. He said, look, if they keep playing like this, it'll make no difference whether they came from the academy or we signed them, you know, from abroad, basically. And I think that's really the message to them. You keep playing like this, and I agree with Arteta, like they're getting to those levels where it's like you could have a part to play. I don't care if you're 17 or not, they're looking good enough.
Yeah, you know what, I must admit, I'm really encouraged by what I saw today, because if you look at pre-season, the types of things you're looking to get out of it, first and foremost, you don't want no injuries.
Yeah.
You want the players to assimilate into the team well. The football was good, the energy looked good, and you could tell by the way the players were high-fiving and laughing and joking afterwards that they knew that they'd put in a good performance and that everything they're working on in training and everything else looks like it's coming off.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you separate this from the US, and it's important to remember that there's a whole week, right? But the US games for me shocked me from a intensity perspective and a sharpness perspective. I think you can be both these things. You can be sharp in terms of good pace about your football, you know, and there's an intensity and you're trying to do all the right things and you're going with all the right intention. That almost isn't tactics related. How quickly, how much pace and zip do you put in your passes? How focused and alert do you look? And I think Arsenal actually did tick those boxes in the US. But in this game, we saw it tactically coming together. You know, we saw the press work and result in a goal. We saw Zinchenko inverting to get on the ball, to play, to find runners. Who makes the runners? Havertz. Lovely cut back, and we get the goal from Zinchenko, who started that move. Those things are the tactical elements coming together and working really well. So I think from that perspective, that was a level up on the US. Intensity and sharpness. Look, I think Mikel Arteta has shown since he arrived, like there's a certain standard he demands in terms of commitment in the game. So I actually don't think we should even be shocked if we see that even in friendlies. But to give the minutes he did certain players, and then for things to come together against what was a strong Leverkusen side, let's be honest, they weren't really at it, but it was a strong Leverkusen side. I think ultimately you just got to take loads of positives from it. I'm really happy with how today went, I really am.
Yeah, myself also. I mean, not only was it the best result, but I think it was the best performance.
Oh, for sure.
Which is encouraging, because the season is not that far away now. Got to ask you your standout players. I know you alluded to a couple of them, but your standout players for today, and indeed the whole tour. Or the whole pre-season. The tour result.
Pre-season player, I think that'll be an interesting one on Sunday to think about and discuss. But I think at the moment, okay, let's just take Leverkusen. Zinchenko, brilliant. Then a level above him were Trossard and Havertz. I'm actually doing player ratings out on the AFTV website very soon, so go check that out. But I think I gave Zinny an 8 because I said, like, while he was brilliant, got the goal, did some great stuff, I still think across that whole game, Zinny played 45 and Trossard and Havertz got more, but I give them more nearer a 9. Trossard obviously got the goal, but I just felt his all-round game was brilliant. Kai Havertz, you know, 2 assists and a goal. And like, yeah, his all-round game wasn't as good as Trossard's. That's something we debated on the watch-along, you know, the three of us, me, you and Turkish. But like, he was really effective when it mattered. And it's, you know, I can't come away from the US games going, yeah, we had a lot of possession, but we should have done a little bit more with the chances we had. Havertz saw those openings and those chances and buried it. Okay, one's a tap-in, but fair play, you're in the box and you put it away. And then two of them is really good awareness. One with a really good cut back from a little bit of distance to find Zinchenko and Trossard, and may I say. And then the second one is to recognise that when you've got the ball at your feet, there's a player right in front of you, Trossard's on your blind side, you can't see him. Maybe a shout, something, enough awareness just to dink it into him, to put in the back of the net, albeit he shows some great skill. I think either one of them could have had it. So Havertz, even though yes, his all-round game wasn't quite striking on the eye, I think he was very good on the ball. He was fine. He didn't do anything wrong, let's say, but really it's that he was clinical guy in the final third today, which is great.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to wrap things up, one more pre-season game left against Lyon on Sunday. Is there anyone that we've not seen yet that you're very much looking forward to see playing on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I mean I heard your fan come with Turkish. I think Calafiori for me has got to be the one, because come this Sunday he'll have been about 2 weeks with the squad now, because he was obviously announced last Monday when they were back in Philadelphia. So I'd be amazed if he doesn't get minutes against Lyon, because otherwise you're throwing him cold against Wolves, unless it's a really slow start to get him in. But this is a £40 million signing at a time where Tomiyasu is injured, Timber's injured, Kivior's future's in doubt, and Zinchenko's a very specific type of fullback that we might use for very specific games. But in the run-in last season, Arteta wasn't opting for that style of player. So I think he'd want to get minutes in Calafiori's legs, so let's see.
Definitely agree with that. Can't wait to see how Calafiori gets on, and we're hoping that he'll play on Sunday. I'm sure he will. But in the meantime, thank you very much, James.
I should have gone for that. There we go.
There we